check in. And even if you're a little afraid that, it's been too long, the connections might have drifted apart, doesn't matter. Just throw the olive branch out there, check, see if they're okay. And hey, if they're not, maybe they need a spot to come crash, and then boom, got a little buddy time for the week, and get that. But so, world, of course, descending into chaos with Florida and that stuff going on. Meanwhile, U.S. men's national team is falling apart at the seams. Like, they can't even hold it inside the bag. It's just overflowing. You got Christian Pulisic running off the field, high-fiving everybody except the coach, purposefully, seemingly to send a message. You got Gio Reyna running off the pitch after an injury and just blowing by the coach. Again, Berhalter just sitting there and just blowing by. He has to chase down Gio Reyna down the hallway of the entryway to the locker room to find out what's wrong with this player, because this player didn't want to even talk to him, which is interesting and very much a thought for concern. And then we saw a press conference today of Berhalter talking about. I've had a chat. He had a chat with people in the locker room, and so it turned out to be his coaches, and they're talking about things and the things that have been the issues. And they had a little chuckle because things are definitely an issue in the locker room, and Berhalter saying he's getting a glove on. But remains to be seen. We are just a few months out from World Cup, and fans do not like what they've seen. Here's the thing. I haven't liked what I've seen from the U.S. men's national team for the last 3 years, since Berhalter's been installed. I don't know how they're just now coming to this panicked moment where they're realizing, oh shit, we're going to go into this World Cup with Berhalter. I had that moment when he was installed. Because the U.S. is not the type of club, they're not the type of nation that goes and fires their national team manager just before the World Cup. They don't do that. Other nations we've seen do that, but the U.S. just does not do that. It's not really in their wheelhouse. So I think that we're stuck with Berhalter for the extent of the World Cup, and that's probably was the case when they signed him up. They're like, we're going to bring you on for the one World Cup. If you have some success, maybe we'll bring you back for the other. Kind of like similar with Klinsmann, but unlike Klinsmann, who did not get that long to try and deploy his little plan before media people started crying foul, a lot of people said, oh, patience for Berhalter, patience. They preached patience, and patience has not paid off. We are looking at a side that looks out of sorts, that doesn't have a collective plan, that lacks an identity, and that identity that they're trying to play through is not a good one. It's one that has got that same manager fired at multiple jobs. Second-tier Sweden has not had a trophy in MLS, and yet we're depending on this system to bring us trophies. Meanwhile, Jesse Marsch over in Leeds having a great amount of success. They're probably the future U.S. men's national team coach. But I also wonder, because you hear the fans of England, and they're saying all the same stuff about Gareth Southgate, who's a better manager. He's just a better manager than Berhalter, hands down, but yet also not good enough. And it made me think about a lot of these national teams, and I wonder if any national team fan is truly happy with their coach and the way their team's being played until they actually have that trophy. And even France, the years that they've won it, haven't they had complaints? I'm sure they're worried about something not going right? It's always funny being a fan in the game of world soccer. That was a good run, says Hut. Appreciate it. Thank you, Hut. Hit just south of me, says Hut. Talking about that hurricane. I'm seeing that's going to go all the way up to like Jacksonville. It's kind of nuts. How wide? It's going to start over on the Gulf side, and it's going to end back up over on the Atlantic. It's absolutely going to be crazy. Angus saying, sounds like the coach is being disrespected. Maybe there's a reason. Maybe not. I think there's a reason. There is never not a reason that a coach at that level, at the professional level, does not get the respect of his players. There is an absolute verifiable reason, and if he loses the respect of the locker room, it's over. It's over. It doesn't matter if your brother is like the co-vice president of U.S. Soccer or somehow involved, and that's how you got the job with nepotism, backhand handshakes. Oh yeah, he's good enough. it's over if you've lost the locker room. And you got to get a new voice in there who can command that locker room going into this World Cup. I think the U.S. men's national team will have a better World Cup if they fire Berhalter this week and install a new voice that will instill hope in that locker room. Because right now in that locker room, they have no faith in this guy's plan. They have no faith that this guy can lead them anywhere close to the promised land. No, here, if we're being honest, America's chances to get to the promised land pretty much 1%. 1%. They got a ticket punch. They're in the tournament. They have a 1% chance. They don't have a 0% chance. We have to be realistic about that. You know who has a 0% chance? Italy. They're not in the World Cup. U.S. are in the World Cup. They have a 1% chance. And we can give them that, right? How do we make that 1% chance count? I don't think it's with Berhalter. You need to get a new voice in there. Somebody who can make this team believe and buy in. And it's not Ted Lasso. You don't go and hire Ted Lasso to be some sort of miracle because he doesn't know the game. He's just a fictional character, an actor who could come in and definitely pump up the team. But you need someone who knows tactics. You need someone who has a plan. Now herein lies the other problem. All these players, the U.S. men's national team players, the last whole cycle of World Cup, they've been playing in Berhalter's system. The very system they're rejecting just 1 or 2 games before the World Cup. This is not the time to be rejecting. This is the time where you're supposed to be buying in the most. And we are seeing outward rejection of the plan, and that has me concerned. Because as a player, you have to be thinking, how do I go farther? How do I get this team to go farther than the sum of its parts? How can I make this team, how can I help me, what I do, bring that to the team to help this team get farther? And I think that a lot of that starts discounting what Berhalter's trying to do. I think a lot of these players, McKenny, Pulisic, we're going to start seeing them try and take it on their shoulders and get things done. Because I don't think Berhalter knows how to get it done. Especially when he says he would rather have the striker not score 5 goals. He would rather have the striker play in his system successfully and score 0 goals than have the striker go and play outside of his system in that same game with his system of players and score 5 goals. Explain that to me. If what that player is doing is leading to 5 goals, you incorporate that tactic. You find out why. What is working there that's making the rest of the team work? And you figure that out, and you figure out how to make that repeatable. You don't say, oh, they score 5 goals, I don't want that. I don't know what is going on with Berhalter, but he is losing the plot at the wrong time. Not good for U.S. men's national team.
Holy shit, chat. I did not realize that the rain is just pounding. Woo! Alright, all my shit stashed. Right? Let's go! Wait, look at that, I got 2 issues? I got 2 issues of Dr. Disrespect somehow. That's awesome. Got it as a reward. Tokyo saying we're stuck with Gregg. We're stuck with Gregg for 2026 no matter what happens. I disagree. I think he's going to be out this era. This guy cannot be. If he loses the locker room, there's no way they can retain him. But if he has not lost the locker room, and I am misreading the situation, then you got to retain him. But I don't think I am. I mean, we're hearing we're seeing way too much smoke. And when there's way too much smoke, there is an unadulterated inferno underneath the surface, just raging.
Yo.
DPG!
Oh, who are we talking about today?
DPG.
Who are we talking